Disneyland Resort is a theme park resort located in Anaheim, California, and it is one of the most iconic and popular theme park destinations of all time. With 2 different theme parks and various attractions for the whole family, there is a lot to do at this resort, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you my top 15 attractions at Disneyland. Now, quick disclaimer, I did not write every attraction that's on this list. However, I've done many of the counterparts in Walt Disney World, so this list will still be accurate. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 15, Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. This attraction got tons and tons of crap when it opened. However, I actually really enjoyed this ride. I really love how you get to shoot webs at these mini spiders and it makes you really feel like Spider-Man. The storyline was a little bit confusing, but the technology of this ride is top-notch, and that's why I have it as a spot on this list. Number 14, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This is the original version of Big Thunder Mountain, and I thought it really held up. The effects were super cool, especially during the third lift hill. I thought the scenery was fantastic, but compared to Walt Disney World's version, I thought it wasn't as wild. Now, I did sit up front on this. You can see from the video, so I don't know how it was in the back, but the hills didn't deliver as much airtime as they do over at Walt Disney World. And the laterals weren't as strong, that I will say, but I absolutely enjoyed this ride, but I will say I do prefer the version over at Walt Disney World. The scenery is definitely better here at Disneyland, but the ride I thought was just better over at Walt Disney World. Number 13, Soarin' Around the World. I didn't ride this attraction at Disneyland, but I have been on Epcot's version, and the ride is absolutely gorgeous. I love all the destinations, the music is incredible, the smells are beautiful, what more could be said? Plus, you must put away those little beauties. Number 12, Matterhorn Bobsleds. The Matterhorn Bobsleds are a pair of 2 roller coasters that race through the Matterhorn Mountain, trying to avoid the Yeti. And this attraction is a classic. The Yeti animatronics are very impressive, and each track is filled with lots of surprises around every corner. While these coasters are not the smoothest, it is actually a piece of history for the roller coaster industry. It was the first tubular steel roller coaster out there, and if it weren't for this attraction, we may not have the big and bad coasters that we have today. Plus, I will say, I do prefer the Tomorrowland track over the Fantasyland track, but I would absolutely recommend giving both tracks a try. It is one attraction that is absolutely worth re-riding at Disneyland. Number 11, Haunted Mansion. We all know and love this attraction. The pre-show is super cool with the stretching room, but going into the ride, it takes you on a tour through the mansion, and then later, you start jamming to Grim Grinning Ghosts, and this song is loads of fun. It is a perfect combination of spooks and scares, and I absolutely adore this attraction a lot. Plus, one day I really want to experience the holiday version of this attraction, as I have heard it is quite legendary. Number 10, Space Mountain. Space Mountain really caught me by a big surprise. While the coaster doesn't have as much airtime as Walt Disney World's version, this version of the attraction has onboard audio, which makes a huge difference in terms of experience. Plus, you can't beat some good twists and turns in the dark. Out of the 2 versions of Space Mountain that I've experienced, this is absolutely the superior version. Number 9, Incredicoaster. This is an Intamin launch coaster located at Pixar Pier at Disney's California Adventure, and this roller coaster is a lot of fun. It wasn't as good as I expected, but I loved how long the coaster was. Plus, the launch was fun, the vertical loop was forceful, despite there being a very strong rattle. And I love the little bits of detail that they put, especially the smell of cookies before the big drop. This is definitely one of Disney's best roller coasters, and I highly recommend it if you go to Disney's California Adventure. You will not regret it. And plus, the line was never super long, so this is one coaster that I got to ride over and over again. What more could be said? Number 8, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This attraction gets a lot of crap, as a lot of people call this ride an arcade, but come on, you are flying the freaking Millennium Falcon. While the storyline is a little bit confusing to comprehend, which is you going to collect coaxium for Onaga's Transport Solutions, the fact that you and your group can each have a different position, to me is just simply out of this world. It makes for some very funny rides, especially if you go on a group of people that are just really in it. And plus, I like how this ride is also randomized, so it could be short, long, you never know. So yeah, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run I think is one of the best attractions out there, and it's one that I highly recommend. Number 7, Pirates of the Caribbean. While I absolutely admire and enjoy the version of Walt Disney World, this version of the attraction completely blew my mind. What makes this version so good is how it feels super complete. The ride is double times the length of Walt Disney World's version, as the first half where you go really deep into the caves. While the second half is pretty much the exact same as Disney World's version, the first half of this ride really makes this ride the real deal. Number 6, Splash Mountain. This is perhaps the greatest log flume of all time. I love how this attraction tells a story from the beginning all the way to the end, and they use physical props to really set you into the immersion. Plus, the 50-foot drop is absolutely fantastic, and this attraction really is a zippity-doo-dah time. I did prefer the Walt Disney World version, which has since permanently closed as they are getting ready to transform it into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but I still loved this attraction regardless, and go ride it until it closes. Number 5, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This is the newest attraction at Disneyland, and while it didn't exist when I went back in 2021, I have experienced this attraction back home, and it's essentially the same ride, but with minor differences. This attraction has some of the best technology that I've ever seen. The fact that it combined physical sets with 3D technology is outstanding. Yes, the storyline is very random, but this attraction will leave you absolutely speechless, and for it being the only Mickey-themed attraction, it is well worth it. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Well, I felt like it would be cheesy at first. Once I experienced the attraction in person, I was absolutely blown away by this attraction. The storyline wasn't anything special, but the ride is packed with loads of ejector airtime, and the only thing that's holding you is a seatbelt. Plus, the music is so much fun, I love all the jokes told throughout, and this ride is an easily worth replacement of the Tower of Terror. I definitely prefer the Tower of Terror at Walt Disney World, as I feel like that attraction just has an incredible storyline, but this attraction is still fantastic and is one attraction that I highly recommend. Number 3, Radiator Springs Racers. All I gotta say about this attraction is that it is incredible. For me, who is a big fan of the Cars movie growing up, the scale and the story of this ride is top notch. The music is beautiful, the story is perfect, the animatronics, sets, they're all just perfect. And to top it off, the racing portion was tons and tons of fun. This ride is just a masterpiece, and it is one of my favorite attractions out there. Number 2, Indiana Jones Adventure. I seriously don't think a dark ride has ever blown me away more than this one has. The effects are incredible, the action is unparalleled, and the motion of the vehicles are intense. When I got off this attraction, my mouth was wide open. I was just blown away from what I had experienced. Plus, being a big fan of the Indiana Jones movies really adds to the experience. It's insane to think that this attraction opened back in 1995, yet it still packs a punch like some of the newer dark rides. And honestly, this was my favorite ride that I had experienced at Disneyland. But my number 1 ride is a ride that I didn't experience in the park, but I have experienced back home, and without further ado, here is my number 1. Number 1, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. This is no question the greatest dark ride of all time. First off, the pre-show acts as an experience itself, giving you the mission and then boarding on a ship, which is also like a ride in itself. However, when you leave the ship, it's just top notch from there. And we haven't even gotten to the ride yet. The ride itself has some of the most insane effects I have ever seen, with all these blasters, animatronics, screens, etc. Now, like I said before, I did not ride this attraction at Disneyland, but I have been on Walt Disney World's version many times, and I know that they're pretty much the exact same attraction. So if I rode Disneyland's version, I'd imagine I'd be just as blown away as I am with Walt Disney World's version. And Star Wars Rise of the Resistance really is just that good. What more could be said? It's not just a ride, it's an experience. Overall, Disneyland Resort has a fantastic variety of attractions. From thrilling roller coasters to top-notch dark rides, there is absolutely something for everyone at this resort. But these are just my top 15 favorite attractions at Disneyland Resort. And without further ado, that is going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future this one if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out Theme Park Eye Productions on all social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, and also don't forget to check out Flock Fan as well if you want to see some more football content. I know the Super Bowl is coming up pretty soon. I got the Eagles winning, but comment below who's your Super Bowl pick. I'll see you guys next time, and you are clear for dispatch.